risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Hold on. Okay. It's the 14th to the charts. Boom. Yesterday. What a day. Okay, so yesterday we had Apple News Conference, so we were actually kind of looking a little bearish in the early morning, and then we got the Apple News Conference and things fell down. They actually did recover going back up into the close, but ultimately we ended down just a slight bit, and then in the overnight we've seen another little bit of a dump coming down. So this is kind of starting to look like it's going to turn back down. But we got to get below this 34.64 before it's like really a huge deal. Treasuries up big yesterday, up big and continuing their rise overnight. The stimulus deal is dead. And so it appears that, at least in the short term, that this puts upward pressure back on the treasuries and that this really big bender down move that we had over here can retrace. Ultimately, though, if Joe Biden is going to win the election, these are going to get creamed. So, oil not doing a whole lot. Still kind of recovering from this whole thing. I don't see anything significant worth talking about. Yesterday, along with the equities getting hit, gold just got destroyed. So down below 1900 once again. And copper actually doing okay. All right, other thing we got going on that we need to talk about is that the New York Post has a article out about Hunter Biden, that apparently Hunter Biden took a laptop into a tech shop because of some problem with the hard drive. So they backed up the hard drive for him. They tried to give the information back to him, but like he never would respond back to them. And there was bad stuff on it. So there are emails about between him and Ukrainian energy executives talking about, oh, thank you for introducing us to your father. It's bad. I've only had the chance to look at it just a little bit, but it looks bad to me. So, yeah. This is like, it looks like a real October surprise. It looks like the administration has known about this for over a month. Probably he knew about it during the last debate. We'll see where it goes. I haven't been seeing any mainstream media outlets picking it up yet, but it is on the New York Post. So, and that's all I can really say about it, because part of why I'm late behind today is I was trying to read as much about it as I could, but I feel like I still don't know a whole lot to know how serious or significant it is. All right. Marty says, what happened yesterday with gold? Well, what happened yesterday with gold was that McConnell has put out that he's going to push for a $500 billion stimulus deal. And the president was pushing for a $1.8 trillion stimulus deal. Nancy has said that she would reject a $500 billion stimulus deal. So with this piece of news, it pretty much seals the fate of a stimulus before the election. The chances now of getting a stimulus before the election are extremely low from my perspective. And so measures of inflation, all of these trades, retail traders that were buying into gold on the expectation that we were just going to keep being reckless with our money, that trade's falling apart. And so all of the gains that they had made over the past week over stimulus hopes just got erased in one moment. And I guess I can only say the same thing that I've been saying almost, it seems like, every day now for the past year. on gold. Remember that gold is largely speculative, and so it can destroy you very quickly. Okay, let's turn on the text to speech. It was a crashing movement. Oh yeah, it crashed. All of those longs bailed. They were like, "Oh crap, the deal's not happening. Sell, 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 sell." But I mean, it was all buyers that had gotten long just bailing on it. So that's how I would look at it. Okay. Yeah, let's turn on the text to speech here. Okay, cool. We are going to get some important numbers here. We're going to get PPI here in about 2 minutes. Okay, so let's focus down. We'll take a serious trade in the treasuries here, potentially. Well, a lot of those numbers, the CPI numbers, were all in line. I actually think, let's see here, we're looking for a reading of spot 2 month over month versus a previous reading of spot 4, and I think we'll probably come in line with the expectation. Yeah, spot 2 on the core PPI and spot 2 on the regular PPI. The regular PPI might be wrong because there's been a lot of auto sales out there, so I don't know how that's one's gonna come in line, but that's what the estimate is. I'm actually, honestly, a little worried that it might actually come in low, but I think that's really unlikely. All right, here we go. There's some people buying into 09 ahead of the news. It's above expectation. The core is spot 4, and the other is okay. They're both higher than expected. The issue we might have here is that the election trade, I guess, not the election, the stimulus trade may still be going on and might be more important to them than the PPI. But a spot 4 PPI is really significant. Really significant. Good deal. I'd like to see 07. Okay, so we got to tick down, but I'm noticing that there's not a whole lot of trade going on in the 5 and 30. Okay. So they're hitting into 08 half, and there's an iceberg underneath of it. And when that happened, the bid's like, okay, maybe we don't want it. Okay, 5K iceberg there, huh? I'm gonna eat a little bit more. Okay, tick up there and offer pulling a little bit. Was a 6K iceberg though. Interestingly enough, though, I saw iceberging across the curve, but barely any action at all in the 5 year. But not much in the 30 is either. The 30 is still kind of, well, they tick down. The other two aren't reacting to it. It's kind of unusual activity in the treasury. I'm kind of wondering if it's just that all of the speculators are gone or something, because it's just not. PPI is usually PPI is usually a really big mover for the treasuries, and a spot 4 reading is really big. A spot 2 miss on the estimate is like really big. I can think of times a year or 2 years ago where a print like that would have pushed us down like 16 ticks, you know? Okay, well, now the '08 is pulling. The 30 year it looks more reasonable now. I suppose that we're not going to see as much of a change in the 5 because of the flattening that we're getting. Okay. I'm hearing a lot of stuff coming out on the Brexit front here. A level playing field governance and fisheries remain open issues in talks with the UK. Yeah, because the Europeans want access to the fisheries and the UK don't want to give it. It's a pretty big order there at 07.5. Soaring food costs send producer prices higher in September. Well, I think now that we've gotten 2 prints in a row like this, I think we can safely say that Federal Reserve policy is causing inflation. Hmm. They're just going to let it tick around, huh? Oh, no, actually. Okay, so that's interesting. So it kind of pulled and they ticked up. But then when it ticked up, they were like, well, too many hit. If it had ticked up and it had really only been 300, but it was like 3 times that. And investors have all sorts of things to say about Disney. Warren pushes Disney on risky stock buybacks over workers. Warren asks if Disney to extend health care to laid off workers. I am so little surprised that they're doing buybacks. Well, things overall seem pretty quiet. The Treasury, we got 2 ticks out of it so far. Relatively calm action over there. The E-mini not doing much of anything. Perhaps slightly up, although we may just be in a bear flag, bull flag, whatever you call it. Bear flag, bull trap. And overall, the action just looks really lackluster. But I'm particularly surprised at how a 0.2% overshoot on inflation does not matter more to them.
Uzi Knesset says good morning. Sunday
Morning,
morning.
Uzi. Sunday morning. What do you think? I wanted them to come back to even, but I don't know if they're going to do it.
Uzi Knesset says I try not to think tongue out.
Oh, man. Have you seen the New York Post story yet? I've been focused on this trade that I'm in the Treasury that isn't really giving me a whole lot. I only was asking for 4, and they're not even giving me that.
Uzi Knesset says I didn't. What's the dealio?
So, the New York Post has released emails from Hunter Biden. Apparently, a computer shop. Apparently, Hunter brought his laptop into a computer shop to retrieve a hard drive or something like that. So they did that, and then Hunter never would respond back to them again. So they gave the drive to the media, and there's emails between Hunter Biden and Ukrainian energy executives, with the Ukrainian energy executive thanking Hunter for introducing him to his father, and a whole bunch of other stuff like that. And apparently the FBI has had this for quite some time, like 2 months. And the president was aware of it too.
Uzi Knesset says oh snap
Yeah.
lol.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's anything like prosecutable in it per se. Like an email like that alone might not necessarily make it illegal, but Joe Biden straight up lied about this, right? In the debate, he said, "Oh, it was nothing," and this, no, like, hey, smoking gun proof. You met him. You met the Hunter Biden was peddling your influence. Confirmed. That hurts. That's a real October surprise. I don't know how much traction it's going to pick up because I've literally only seen it on the New York Post. But man, it's a big. Seems like a big deal to me.
Uzi Knesset says yeah, but probably not prosecutable. Media won't report on it widely. Just bury it.
It may well be that only the conservative media cares. Well, it's on hot air now.
The
Let's read what
Chartbuster
they
says,
say
what
about it.
level are you looking to buy at?
Well, I was looking for '07 because that was kind of the balance area in the 10-year,
Uzi
but
Knesset says only
I'm
conservative media cares, which means right-wing conspiracy to normies.
that so far the trade's just not really going, so I might just scratch it.
Uzi Knesset says treasuries are too quiet this morning.
Yeah, it's making me uneasy. Okay, I'm glad I scratched it. You know what, though? It was a good
The
trade. Like,
Chartbuster says, what are your support levels below 3,500?
it's a good question. So below 3,500, it's a little difficult because of the way the volume is going. I mean, I have something going all the way down to 3417, but that is of course kind of silly. So but that just shows you there aren't a whole lot of positions on in the E-mini right now. Okay, that's what that means. If we started moving down, I think that that would probably change significantly. But right now, there's not a lot of positions on. So they're not clearing '09, which is good. I mean, the trade might still be okay, but I don't if they're going to be hitting into '09 and trying to
Uzi
clear it,
Knesset
I'm
says, I
just
see we
gonna.
got the firm thickness at 23/24 in ZB. May play
Yeah.
out like yesterday.
And you're right. It may be that they just want to bring treasuries back up into that range. That's why it's like a read like that in PPI should be significant, and if it's not going to be significant, then so I got out.
The Chartbuster says I have support at 3,500 2.5, 3,500 1.5, and it falls below 3,497.5. I'm selling.
Well, I'm just saying, there's definitely yesterday's lows around 34.93, and the overnight lows that would be a significant level. But other than that, right now there is so little positioning on there that if the E-mini were to make a significant move, any kind of level that you have on your chart is unlikely to matter because you got to understand that levels matter much more to people that are already in trades. You know what I mean?
The Chartbuster says, yes, you are right.
If you're entering in a new trade, like let's just say for instance that you're selling because well, I don't know, what would be the reason to sell? I guess it could be you're selling because continuation off of the we're not going to get a stimulus, for instance, right? How much do you care about where you get in from? But I'm really thinking of more like something new. What would be something new that could potentially come out that could push us down? Um, okay. What if news came out that Apple has been downgraded by a significant uh, mm, analyst? Okay, Apple's been downgraded by a significant analyst. Okay, you want to sell it. Do you care where you sell it at? If you're selling it off of like breaking news? No. But if you're already in a trade, like say you're long, so it looks like they're long right now, you know, then these levels matter to you. Where you got in matters to you. Where, you know.
The Chartbuster says I'm selling on wave movement. I believe it will go down to 3480s before spiking back up. Nothing to do with stimulus.
Okay, well. I'm not a huge fan of technical analysis, but if you're looking at it from a purely technical perspective, then I would say they stay out because it's just not moving. Right? 09 held. If they do eventually go down to 07, then I'll be mad, but that was making me awfully nervous. Oh, what's Futures Trader 71 saying here? Depends on the time frame. If I'm scalping for short distances, that I would never chase. But if I have a structured trade with strong risk reward, then a few ticks won't make a difference. Costs more to miss the trade potentially. I agree. He's totally right, guys. He's totally right.
The Chartbuster says whatever it is, this is fun watching someone trade it live with you.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, that's what we do. I can't claim that I'm always on the ball and make good trades, but we always have fun. Okay, what's this guy? He wants me to take a survey. I'll take a survey for traders. Futures. Oh.
The Chartbuster says at what point do you start watching 30-second intervals?
30-second intervals? I don't have a 30-second chart on here. I have a 1-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, and then this chart down that you see in the bottom right is a range chart. So it shows me literally every price tick. Generally speaking, so again, the thing that I would say is that I don't really look at the technicals in the same way that other people do. So I haven't done this demonstration for a while, so I will demonstrate to you. Here's OBS, okay? I don't know if you're familiar with this, but here's OBS, okay? Now, you see here how I'm showing the screen, so what's happening is, well, I mean, I think you understand what's happening, right? It's a mirror. So because I'm showing the OBS screen on here, we're getting like this, but it's what we call a fractal function. Because what happens is it outputs the screen, and then that's the input to the next iteration, and that creates this one, and that's the input to this iteration, and it goes all the way down, all the way into infinity. Now the thing is, if I come in here and I get a magnifying glass, magnifier, okay. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Now I'm magnifying it up. Pretty crazy, right? And here's the thing: is like, it's so weird, right? That's not what the cursor looks like. Why is it? What is, like, you see there on the top? It like kind of curves up and to the right. What causes that? It's really bizarre, right? I come over here and come back, I might be able to, okay, so now I can make the background blue. Huh? It's kind of weird, right? Extremely unpredictable. So here's the thing. The market is a fractal function when you look at it on a purely technical analysis basis. The market outputs data. All of the traders take that data and use that to make their decisions. They send orders, and that's the next iteration, and it just goes in a circle. Okay? There is no way mathematically to go in and say, after 12 iterations, here's a function, and then you put in 12 into it, and it will output to you what the picture will look like in the end. There's no way to do that. You have to go through every iteration to be able to figure out what the output is, which in the market means actually trading it live, right? But there are some things that I can kind of tell. Like if I move my cursor, it's going to move around, right? If I move it over here to me, and then I come back over, I'll probably get some blue in there, right? Okay. So what does that tell us? I'm going to turn all this nonsense off now. What does that mean? Okay. The biggest factor in what the output of a fractal function is the environment, right? So to me, what would the environment be in the stock market, in futures? It would be the fundamentals, right? So to me, I care more about the fundamentals because I can predict what the outcome is going to be based on the fundamentals more easily than I can based purely off the technicals, because what you get on the technicals can be extremely bizarre, counterintuitive, and difficult to predict. It's inherently unpredictable. Well, not unpredictable. It's inherently difficult to predict. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my spill on technical analysis. Does that make sense? That's the real math behind it. Well, the E-mini is moving up. If the E-mini moves up, then I suppose the treasuries could come back down into 07. Fed's clear it is speaking. He's saying a lot of the similar things to what everybody else has been saying. Well, the E-mini got a pretty good up move there, but it's pretty, I don't know, it's still small. Well, actually, how big actually was that? We were at 02 before, were we?
Uzi Knesset says damn I wanted 14 for a buy in ZB and got stiffed confused face.
Really? It kind of does make you wonder if we should be buying it, huh? Okay, so I'm noticing. I see. So there is a pretty big spike up in oil, and the dollar is coming down. 60s moving. What's here? Let me add this. I need to add a tab here.
Uzi Knesset says yeah, I tried to get in after it cleared down once and bid it after it cleared back up. Fucker.
The British pound has been strengthening here, as is the 6J. So it looks like it's more dollar weakness than anything else. Heck, I got crumbs on my hand or something. When did this start? Started before the news, but it's been more particularly dramatic the last 10 minutes or so. So I'm still not entirely sure what's happening, but something is changing in the macro complex here. The book here has been pretty imbalanced through the whole time we've been here, by the way, in the E-mini too, where there's been larger orders on the upside by about 400. Probably due to all these guys up here, but it just changed. Financial Times article about a disputed election. That can't be it. German government source Greece wants to talk about Turkey's latest actions at EU summit. That can't be it either. Recovery will likely need additional fiscal and monetary support. It will take some time for the economy to recover what it lost. It will likely take around a year for GDP to return to pre-pandemic levels. I'm still thinking about that trade that I was in the Treasury. Because I could have at least gotten one tick out of it here at 08.5, but you can see it's still kind of slow. So it's still kind of, I'm not so sure that I really want to be in a treasury trade in that slow of action. But I think that the execution on it was really great, right? We got a good iceberg in. It never ticked against us. We got some downside ticks pretty much right away. It came back, and so we got out. It's okay. We scratched it. So even though maybe there's a possibility that there could be that the trade might have worked out, I can't be mad with the way that executed. That's the way that we want to do it in the Treasury. I feel like I was pretty on the ball there, yeah. And now this in the E-mini, I mean, we did kind of miss a little bit on the upside there, but I don't really see the opportunity yet, so need to see a spot where we understand what's going on first.
Uzi Knesset says back down to 14, not bidding adhere again.
No. I think they'll break this time. The thing that's interesting, though, is that they're really having... Okay, so there's the 8, finally, again. Do you think they'll hit the 07.5 this time? I mean, it really looks to me like... Here's the thing, is that we came down here before, right? And then nobody wanted to hit into 07.5, so the market maker was like, okay, fine, we'll bring it back up here. Nobody wanted to bid it up at 09, so now they're testing down again, right? So if we do go down to 07, it just doesn't look... Oh, there you go. Oh my. He pulled. 812 at 07.5? Really? 812 at 07.5.
Uzi Knesset says lol.
Can you believe that? Okay, well, it ticked back up, and there's an iceberg in the 5-year now. Still. You know what? That one was probably a robot that pulled, but still. I can't believe it.
Uzi Knesset says looking at 08 for possible support.
I think that if we're within a tick, and it's been, like X many seconds since we've ticked down. You shouldn't be allowed to cancel it. That's what I think. They shouldn't be allowed to cancel that one. They should have to take the fill. And that's the risk. It was weird. Did you guys hear that little like crackle on the audio? I want to know what caused that. Might need to check some things.
Uzi Knesset says 13 is a buyer's cost basis, by the way.
Right. They went right through it in the 30-year. But the thing is it's 07.5, 07 in the 10-year, and in the 10-year, it doesn't look like that the sellers want to push it. In fact, now that they pulled at 07.5, they didn't stack and nobody went to take it at 07. Now it's ticked back up and there's 3,500 on there again. I bet you that eventually there will be a decent amount of volume that trades there. What about in terms of cumulative delta? Oh man, the cumulative delta in the 5-year is like all over the place. The 30-year is definitely being sold. So we should be careful about that because we're getting steepening here.
Uzi Knesset says, well, I see the fat man at 16 popped in at ZB. Bringing such a large offer into the day's range, may find a buyer.
I think that what we're seeing right now is
Luis
that they're trying to
Alarid says
steepen
green
the curve.
on yen.
Right? They're not. That's why they're not actively selling the 10-year, because the trade is you buy the 10 and sell the 30. Do I see it in the 2 and 10s? Not really. It's significant in the knob, though. Okay. That guy at 924, that is interesting. I mean, you almost always see a big guy at those even numbers, though. It's not, I guess I'm just saying it's not unusual. Now look at this big one at 08.5. They gonna do it on here this way too?
Uzi Knesset says, yeah, but I try to build that narrative. The big offers outside the day's range, no one wants them. So big one comes into the day's range, someone may want that. Now we got this little pullback. Uzi Knesset says off the downticks.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that you would put it there in the day's range if you didn't think that it could happen.
Uzi Knesset says exactomundo.
Now, I'm wondering about
Uzi
this
Knesset
08.
says, or unless he plans to pull it, more likely lol.
Look, so there's an iceberg at 08. They're able to take it and keep it bid. Okay. 08 half isn't pulling away, but nobody's hit it yet.
The Chartbuster says, do you expect a big move at 9.30 for futures?
Not necessarily. Why do you ask? Oh, did you see that thing on my other chart about that had the number on it? I wouldn't pay too much attention to that number. Just suggests that last in the past few days that we've tended to get move at those times. It doesn't mean that we'll get it again, but I'm just kind of watching it, seeing how influential it can actually be. Sometimes it picks it right on and it's like wow, but then the ones that really matter, I think it's just completely clueless. Okay, so 16 is a hit into 08.5. No change. Oh, wait, doesn't stay bid there. Okay. So they upticked for a second at 08 and got shut down again. And now the 5 is down at the bottom of its range. I'm gonna restart voice meter.
Uzi Knesset says Exactomundo.
Okay. I think we're good. I think it was just, I think voice meter banana was just a little bugged. Another iceberg at 08 again. Do we have bill auctions today? We have Red Book. We already got that. Clarita speaking. Lane speaks. 10:30. Quarrels later today. I guess we don't have one. It's one of the first days in a while that we haven't had some sort of a bill auction. Why the iceberg then? Perhaps a corporate bond offering coming? Hmm. I'm not really seeing anything. I guess it still kind of comes back to what caused it. So oil is still going pretty hard. I mean, they're a good dollar up.
Uzi Knesset says there's always a simple assumption. Big offer at 16 acts as resistance. Get in front of it. But I dunno. Day is up, so I'm not gonna risk that.
Yeah. In fact, if they bust through these, I think I want to buy it. Hey, there was a 6K at 08.5, right? He doesn't want it anymore? See if they hit them at 16. Nobody's brave enough, I guess. I remember we had one guy in here for a while that I think eventually he quit trading, but he liked to hit into the big orders. He would have been like, I'll be the first one to buy it, hoping that a bunch of other people would flood in behind him, which did happen once or twice. Well, it's pulled now. There was 6K at 0.5. Now there's only 1,800.
Uzi Knesset says it isn't the dumbest theory. I think that's why the big offer is there to begin with. If a bunch of people cascade into it, the hope is it triggers frantic buying up to 23/24.
Potentially. Ah. So they bought all of it. And that triggered me too. On one like that, I bet you could probably buy into it at 16 and get out 1 plus 1 at 17. You could probably build a robot to trade that one, and it would probably do okay. Wouldn't really be heavily worth it, but I bet you it'd be profitable. It just depends on if the problem with the one that kills you is you hit into it and then it turns out that there's actually 2,000 sitting there at 16. But here at 0.8 half, it's surprising that went up after only like 1,300 contracts or whatever, because there was a really big offer there at one point. Now, did they move it? Well, I haven't seen very many big offers. Well, very many big order movement over in here. Wait, is this all set up right? Yeah, we just haven't gotten many clicks. Yeah, but maybe he moved up. There's that 11 up there. You can definitely see the way the book is tilted. Okay, so now Kayleigh McKinney is picking up the Hunter bombshell. Well, she's calling it a bombshell. Of course they tick down. Damn bastards.
RJ Wheels says what bombshell?
So, Hunter Biden introduced Joe Biden to a top executive at the Ukrainian energy firm he received $50,000 a month from. Biden claimed, "I've never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their business, period." It's a lie, and they have email proof. That's the bombshell. I put that in quote marks because it's unclear to me what kind of impact it'll have on the election. I don't think that law enforcement is going to do anything about it. Okay.
RJ Wheels says it would be nice if the news would do 48-hour cycle on it. And shout questions at Biden about it.
Well, the media is starting. So there's one thing you got to remember on
The
this.
Chartbuster says on average how many trades do you make daily on the S&P?
Oh, maybe 4 on a good day. If I'm doing more than that, it's probably not a good day. But with the way it's trading right now, I don't have an edge. I thought that one in the Treasury was worth taking, but I don't know. You don't want one where it goes one tick adverse against you right away, right? The entry, I suppose, was okay.
The Chartbuster says have you decided a buying point?
Nope. I'll probably need something to happen. So I see that there's something's going on and that there might be an opportunity here. But I don't completely understand why the global macro complex has turned the way that it is, especially with the treasuries kind of turning the way that they have been. Okay. Oh, I can hear it raining outside. That makes me feel a little calm and peaceful. Yeah, when I'm reading around about this, the thing that I'm seeing I'm really only seeing people on the right report, talking about it. But they're mad that the FBI has it and hasn't done anything about it. That's where they're at. Okay, so there is a thread about it on r/politics. Let's see what they're saying in there.
Uzi Knesset says that's pretty much anything that happens that's a detriment to the left. I mean, that's why the right can't win. It doesn't control information.
The article is from the National Review, so the top comment is, "Oh, it's just the National Review." Blah 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 blah. So then somebody comes in and posts the New York Post uh, link, and he got downvoted crazy. Freaking Reddit is so awful, man. I tell you what, if Reddit is your primary news source, uh, you need a new primary news source.
Let's not make this personal, says the right owns way more media than the left.
I don't know about that. The issue, it really doesn't come down to who owns things. It's really two things. Let's not make it personal. I tell you, I think this is an important thing to understand to try and figure out the way that news flow goes in trading. So what is the primary driver of media? Clicks. If you get clicks from it, then they're going to push the story. Period. And it doesn't matter how damaging it is to the particular political narrative that they have going. Okay. But the second thing is that the people that work in the media are overwhelmingly rich. Overwhelmingly rich, and liberal tends to be. Okay, like these are all like these people that you see on CNN that are like the top news anchors at CNN, right? These aren't kids from the Bronx. No. They're always the kids that went to charter schools and or whatever you call them, boarding schools and stuff like that. Like they're rich kids, right? So that really flavors the news as well. So with this one, the Hunter Biden story, the instant that the media figures out that they get a lot of clicks from it, they'll just it's like flies on poop. You know what I mean? It's just a question of, does it actually attract that? You know? Okay, so a tick up on the E-mini open, a decent amount of volume on the E-mini open, a little bit of buying, although the volume going into it was down. I don't want to make this pertinently, but what exactly do you mean by why the right owns more than the left? What's your basis for saying that? Well, I think that what he's talking about is that Rupert Murdoch and a couple of other right-leaning millionaires have their own news outlets, and the people on the left are very triggered by Rupert Murdoch in particular. Right, Sinclair, Flax, so on. Right, but the issue is that then on the other side, you have NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, NPR, BBC. I mean, come on. It's not even close. Disney's like, oh, you're right, Disney. Which news networks does Disney own? They are owned by the left. CNN is owned by Jeff Bezos, right? A lot of those are corporate owned, of course, but I'm just saying they all lean left. And we should add that for all of the talk about Fox News, the ownership at Fox News has changed, and they've been. I mean, come on, they hired Donna Brazile. I was so shocked. How has Fox hired Donna Brazile? I can't believe that anybody is willing to give Donna Brazile a job after what she did. That's freaking criminal right there. Hiring that woman into media again. But that wasn't the point. The point was on Reddit r/politics. Here's somebody posting the original source for this story, and they got downvoted very heavily just for providing the original source. Like, how crazy is that? They're literally just trying to bury facts. Yeah, so here's a guy on Reddit. If you honestly don't care about the Biden nepotism and Joe lying to people's face about his involvement because Trump is worse, that's fine to say that. But don't put your head in the sand and say that's not a legit source when there is hard evidence and intimate family photos to prove it. That's just being ignorant. Right. Exactamundo. But and that's a little bit of distraction talking about Jared Kushner, her emails, part 2, Russian disinformation. Sorry, it's a confirmed story. They have hard proof. So I should point out, just because you're gonna see people saying this about this story. On the hard drive, there's a video of Hunter having sex with somebody, and there's pictures of Hunter doing crack cocaine. It's a legit dump. Mm. Okay, so here's kind of more what I was looking at. A more legitimate defense looks like if there was anything, it was just a meet and greet. Burisma met with a number of politicians, both Republican and Democrat. It's also possible that the email was fabricated. We'll need a photo and recording of something more than just an email that says, "Hey, let me meet your dad." Really? I don't think so, because if it's an email, there's going to be signatures on it. You're going to be able to like confirm that the email was sent. So that's not going to be a legit defense. So that's interesting. So just from the one post that I've seen on r/politics about it, let's go and look. Well, I bet you we can find some more. They're in denial about the story right now. They're still in the denial stage. This is like when remember when Podesta's emails came out and everybody on the Democrat side said, "Oh, it's fake, it's fake." Yeah. Okay, whatever. Yeah, let's go to their main page here and see if we got what else they got. Maybe the New York Post story got posted. I have to sort by new, probably. Trump acknowledges UFOs. What? Yes, Biden should back the court. Ugh. There's that story. So they were posted that one 39 minutes ago. They should be able to. Okay, here's another one. There's one from the Daily Wire. I'm surprised that r/politics is not just removing them, because that happens a lot too. They should be able to find one from further back than an hour ago, but they're probably going to be slow on the draw. 2 hours. Has the original story not been posted? Or maybe New York Post isn't legitimate. You can't post those. Maybe it's not whitelisted. Okay, so there's the E-mini trying to buy. Overall, the cumulative delta is negative on this session. It's kind of interesting. Looks like we're getting some NASDAQ strength coming in here. Well, let's look at this one. I had 54 comments on it. Okay, unknown person drops off laptop, sits in computer shop for a while, then guy randomly sends hard drive to Rudy Giuliani. Yep, nothing suspicious about that. Real solid chain of custody. They really think that it's all fake. This is, if this week attempt is their October surprise, then congratulations to President Biden. Mm-hmm. Tick back up at 08. E-mini taking a little turn there. Wouldn't be surprised to see a turn from 35.10 down to 3,500. I'm not confident enough though. I just really don't have a strong macro framework to be taking a trade over there. Over here, I can do it because I can kind of take advantage of the book, but even then, you can see how it hasn't really been all that favorable to me. Wells Fargo didn't make that much from trading, and Zero Hedge is saying, they need to hire some Robinhood traders. Anyways, back to this story. Don't think this one's going to stick. No, it was not an email in which someone expressed interest in meeting with Biden. It was an email in which he thanked him for doing it. It was an email where they said that they did meet. Where was that? That one, I'm gonna have to correct that one. How do I quote here? Let's see here.
Block sell.
Shit. Well, there's the E-mini going. So they're trading just off of the E-mini. Fuck. Yeah. It's the end of that. Couldn't have been worse, could it? In retrospect, it was I shouldn't have held it like I did, but the E-mini taking off there. Now, what was I was hearing something on the squawk there. Some progress has been made in Brexit talks this week. That's probably why that's moving like that. Okay, where were we? The same people that bought into the P-tape and N-word tape BS think everything else is a setup. Yeah, right? It is kind of funny that their first instinct is to say it's fake. It was kind of funny. Sometimes I think that there's like what do you say, like organized disinformation groups on Reddit, and that certainly does exist, but I think that this one is probably just their genuine reactions to stuff. So how much bought when we came up there? None. Huh. That whole setup was kind of sucked. Well, I have not had any luck with treasuries for a long time, so I'm not surprised, I guess. So it was a decent move up there in the mini. The fine. So I remember what I was going to say. The thing that I find interesting about that trade in the treasuries is that they seem to be reacting more to movement in the E-mini than anything else, don't they? The PPI didn't seem to matter. All that seems to matter is what the S&P 500 is doing. S&P 500 took a jump, so they sold some treasuries. Okay, so E-mini is kind of getting up into a spot where they might have difficulty continuing. So let's see what they do if the new money comes in or what. Watch them like completely turn around from here. Oh, really? This is where it kind of makes you feel like that they're just watching you and doing whatever they need to screw you over, right? Because the thing is like, okay, like say you have a system and it doesn't have edge, right? So then you'd expect to get random results and ultimately fail. But then when you come in and it's like you have difficulty literally every fucking trade, kind of makes you start to wonder, right? Yeah, 74, that's kind of sketch. Well, I mean, that's probably just really bad luck, but still. But still. Okay, so that should be a stop run right there. There is some significant volume trading there. UK, some progress has been made in Brexit talks this week. There are still some differences with the EU on rules with fisheries. So that doesn't sound like that's actually news, but maybe somebody sending out PR to influence markets. Thinking back on it, there was some iceberging up in here and everything. People had to have bought into him. But can they really push back from here? I don't know about that, man. Try it. Book is still pretty. Lots of big orders below us. Look at all that.
Uzi Knesset says my record is position 3 in the queue before being left behind lol.
Oh, I've been left at 1 many times. I can think of a couple of times. I remember there was like a whole week where I had great trades and I could never get filled. It happens. Honestly, with as the treasuries, that was a good move there, but the way that the treasuries have been trading today has been kind of sluggish, and so that's what you would probably expect, is that it might be difficult to get filled on limit orders, right? So far the trend looks good in the e-mini.
Winston's mom says, "Don't be left behind." The best way to avoid being left behind is to hit the like button. Thanks, everyone.
So I'm detecting that the e-mini is running out of steam here, so I'm going to try a tepid little one here. So interestingly, a large order on the micros there. Pretty slow. Some iceberging, somebody pushing it. We're all delta negative though. No. It may yet go through, but it looks like they're going to push it out. The change in the book that I saw there was like incredibly tepid, so
Uzi Knesset says keep it tight. Stop on the other side of that 6K.
yeah. I didn't put it out there, but that's what I was thinking. I was gonna try and click it. I was gonna try and be a click cowboy on it. Okay.
Uzi Knesset says safe to say if that 6K gets plowed or pulled you're probably wrong lol.
Yeah. Okay. It looks like it might be pulling in the E-mini to fool me. Yeah. He gained himself a bit of room there too. Nope. Okay. Hmm. So it come down a little bit. It's kind of hovering above that last pivot. It's pivoting a lot up here too. And some volume in the E-mini. Seeing 600s print again. This is a lot like yesterday, isn't it? In the E-mini. The White House officials promote herd immunity declarations signed by fake names. Oh. Oh. I don't know if that changes anything, but apparently Mnuchin and Pelosi are supposed to talk today. That's why we don't want to be in this. Okay.
Uzi Knesset says no. Why you reverse?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I reversed because I saw the story that Mnuchin and Pelosi are going to talk iPhone today. That's why I reversed. They're still sitting at 06.5, which is where I was it from. But here, once again, where the E-mini is ticking seems to matter so much more, doesn't it? I don't really think that I have anything over in the Treasury right now. I'm going to let that one play out, but like here, I'll do that. I'm going to let it play out, but I don't feel like I have any edge in Treasuries right now. This one in the E-mini seems to be working out okay. I'm wondering if they'll cross all the way over. There's that big order down at 12. So I think I'm going to front run this a little bit because I don't know if we're going to get like a full-on reversal. So another little pause there. Some big bars. I'm going to have to take it there. Oh, now you go. Now you go, huh? So I'm thinking that the whole stimulus hopes is going to be back on. That's what I'm trying to trade right now.
RJ Wheels
See
says
it there
Seth
in
funny
the
you
book.
mentioned Donna Brazil. I just a invite to hear her speak at noon hour, her and Jason Chaffetz. On the effect of election on investing.
What?
RJ Wheels says I just got.
And Jason? Jason's a good guy. I've heard him talk. I've spoken to him a few times. I was really disappointed when he left. Because I thought he was really smart, but
RJ
he knew the
Wheels
game.
says yeah weird we were talking about her.
He knew the game, and he was like, I'm not making very much being in Congress, and I should go out on my own. Maybe he'll come back someday. Maybe he'll come back, become governor of Utah, run for president. That's where I see Jason.
RJ Wheels says he sold at the top, as did Paul
Yep.
Ryan.
He sold at the top. You're right. Paul Ryan. I don't know. Paul Ryan was already on the downside when he gave up. Thinking back about that first term when Donald Trump had a majority in both houses and everything, and Paul Ryan didn't do jack shit. Oh my gosh, he makes me so mad.
RJ Wheels says true. People were shorting his top.
Yeah. So I want to point out here, we're really narrow in terms of positioning, but what happened was we came back down to the buyer's cost basis. There was a little excursion down to the seller's cost basis that then reversed back up. So this gives me a bit more confidence in my long here. And if they go and they make a new high, they probably have a lot of room to run. Still pretty slow. I can also see that the book has changed again. On the downside, it's already peaked. You see, secret. A little secret. Don't worry about when it crosses this line. When it does that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so that's the seller's cost basis there again. I don't want to take on too much risk, but I could consider adding there. Yeah, and the buyer, of course, pushes back. So I bought a little high. Okay, well, they're starting to explore the downside now. So I'm going to have to bail.
Fight hard, Republicans. They have been taking advantage of the system for years. California Attorney General and Chief Elections Officer demanded GOP campaign officials stop using private ballot box collection containers marked as official drop boxes, saying the boxes have appeared in communities across the state are illegal. I think that they can do a drop box, but I don't think that they can mark it as official. All right, they got creamed there, man, in the tenure. Like, the silly thing is, I should be sitting here like, well, let me change a few things here. I should be sitting here like this. If I really believe that it's going to continue down. Maybe not. Shit. I feel like it's reacting to my clicks, but I know it's not. Of course, if I really believe this, I shouldn't keep those open. So focus on one thing at a time. Of course. It still looks kind of, there's still kind of some pressure on it. I don't know. We did okay yesterday, but today I just feel lost. Of course, I understand where I screwed up over here, but over on this one, it just kind of seems kind of odd. I guess I caught the downside, the first bit of it, but now it's gone way further. So some heavy sell side excursion. Let me do one of these. And... Hmm. If we get below that low pivot there, that 0825, seems like there's a good amount of positions still there. Hearing that Great Manchester will be pushed into Tier 3 tomorrow, mayor leaders have a meeting with Deputy CMO this afternoon. So there's some bearishness because of further lockdowns expected. Well, that bar looks really bullish to me. And this is decreasing, so I think I need to bail. Fuck, I hate that. How bad is it? I'm just all over the place today. No, that's pretty bad. I'm gonna try it again. Hmm. No. Hmm. Oops. Oops. Well, that's not too good. And you notice that here in the E-mini that I haven't been able to catch a good spot for a while. I think what I'm doing over here is random. I should just give up today. Hmm. We gotta defend the open. Okay. So there was that stop I was talking about. I could add right here. Good. Very good. Okay, so we're beyond the regular session stops now. They could still push to 3,500, but Treasury is moving up there as it happens. Hmm. So if they get below 3,500, then I start to wonder what's going on. Yeah? What do you think? How many of those that I did bad were buys? 3. And a bunch of sells too, though, huh? There's a big order showing up in the mini. Not hitting into him yet. Okay, there they hit into him. Should flip these. I'm always looking down here. Yeah, it looks like he got filled and they're going to reverse a little bit. Not as much as I thought. Hmm. Well, that 07.5 in the 10 years not ticking up, I'm noticing. Even though it looks really dire over in the E-mini. But, like, they are so far below. Like, it was really tight positioning. That has to have been, like, a bunch of people, that weren't in piling on short. Hmm. Okay. In out. Hmm. They do look like they're going to touch 3,500 now. Hmm. That's very curious. Detroit Free Press poll. Joe Biden up 9 points in Michigan. Donald Trump stuck in neutral. Okay, I should have held on a little bit longer, I guess. Because that was a pretty good dump. Some more contracts. I don't know for sure if it's over. The thing is that I don't see a headline driving that. It's quite a bit more negative action than headlines would justify. And the Treasury's not really reacting too harshly to it.
Christopher
Neither is the
Garcia says good
dollar.
morning.
Good morning. The dollar is definitely not moving. Oil come down a little bit, but hmm.
Christopher Garcia says since last night there is a head and shoulder on 1 hour on NQ if drops the possible stop is at 11,900.
If you say so. It looks like they're threatening another flush lower, but it's not quite going. And I do see a couple of orders kind of stepping in there. So okay, the treasuries did finally tick up at 08. Yeah, they don't seem ready to go yet. That is on the downside play. Hmm. Okay. Well, I'm kind of wondering if they're really going to get all the way back up to 04 in one push. Hmm. Somebody hitting back there, huh? See. I see. He's right there. Overall, this move still looks way overextended, and I don't see a reason for it to have gone. Jeff Stein confirms from Jake Sherman confirms Jake Sherman's earlier report that Pelosi and Mnuchin are expected to talk today on stimulus negotiations. Obviously unclear where, if anywhere, that goes. Bill Gates warns the world won't return to normal until second generation of COVID-19 super vaccine arrives. What? Oh, hell no. We ain't doing this for 2 generations of vaccines. No, thank you. No, thank you. Anybody know what he's talking about? Oh, look, I got filled. Good trade. Good trade. I could have gotten a little bit better of a spot, but I couldn't be happier with that one. So I'm kind of picking my mojo up a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't feel clueless, but was awfully. Part of the thing was that I took a lot of really, really teeny tiny little ones there, right? Like those were all 4A tickers, and I am getting them to run, and I am getting 1, 2, 3 out of 10, 3 out of 10. So I am getting 30% of them to run, but that's not good enough. We need the better overall win rate and more of them to run for us. So that says to me that it's not that I'm doing something bad or wrong, but that I'm just kind of hitting on at par of where you would expect to. And I didn't size very well today either. I took a lot of those on 2 contracts when I shouldn't have. I should have backed off. Should have said, okay, I'm having a hard time here. Let's do 1. Okay. So it looks like they gonna come back to the open. I could have rode that for a lot more, but I said, it's a short-term trade. Where did I take it? Oh, $3.25. Okay, so there was like another $10 in it. If not more than that, if it continues. Well, not sure I can explain what the market's doing at the moment. ITV political journalist Robert Peston believes the odds of a EU-UK free trade agreement are 100%. Okay. Laura Barron Lopez, something is happening with seniors in Arizona. They are livid about the whole COVID thing. Trump's handling of COVID-19, even prior to his diagnosis, is proving costly as he loses grounds with voters that delivered his 2016 win. So voters want to go back into lockdown again. I think that's what they're voting for. Is that really what it comes down to? It seems like it is. You want more lockdowns, then you vote for Joe Biden. That's what it sounds like they're saying. Hmm.
Uzi Knesset says anecdotally, I can say the majority of people I know want to stay locked down, fed by the government, and watching Netflix.
Well, you know why? Because they never had to feel the pain from it, right? They got so much money from the government that they never had to feel the pain. But what's going to happen is 2 or 3 years from now, you're going to have to pay it all back. Seems like it's free government money, but it's not. It comes from somewhere. Let's see how my Facebook reacts to that.
RJ Wheels says and you don't have to feel bad to decline dinner invites. Uzi Knesset says in a world where porn, video games, and Netflix are the obsessions of every male you know between the ages of 22 and 35, it's a hard pill to swallow. RJ Wheels says I'm older than that, so video games are out.
Okay, so back to the open. Not quite to buy a seller's cost basis. That was a real flush, I have to say. That really must just have been a lot of longs, and even this comeback here in cumulative deltas and all that extreme. We could buy it though. We could definitely buy it. Um, well, 11. I don't think that it'll catch, but okay. It's a hard pill to swallow.
Uzi Knesset says the NEETs will inherit the Earth lol.
Right, but that's yeah. The silly thing is like you can't do that forever. What do they think is going to happen? Like, I feel like that you're going to get to a point and these people are going to realize that they've like wasted a year, 2 years of their lives. And the issue with the lockdowns is that it doesn't solve the problem. And now Bill Gates is saying that the problem won't be solved until a second generation of vaccines. Can you believe that? Won't be solved until a second generation vaccine.
Uzi
So
Knesset says you're talking about a generation that doesn't think past the next week.
if the strategy is going to be lockdowns and it's not solved by the first vaccine, then that means that there can be lockdowns like into next year, which sounds silly in my mind. Doesn't it sound silly to you? Lockdowns this winter, maybe, but after that, there shouldn't be any more lockdowns. And frankly, I'm not sure that there should be lockdowns this winter. From what the World Health Organization is saying, there shouldn't be. I don't like the way that this is kind of pausing here. It's definitely not going to come down and fill me in a way that which I want to be long.
Uzi Knesset says lockdowns sounded fucking retarded to me the moment they were mentioned.
Well, I don't know, man. But it does appear to me from the polling. So Donald Trump has plummeted in the polls lately. And it started with the debate. But it seems to me that the thing that has really hurt him is his attitude on the coronavirus, that we have it defeated and you don't need to be afraid of it. Americans are afraid of it, and they do think that we should be locked down, and they've completely bought into the negative narrative on it. So if we assume all of that is true, then what is most likely to happen is Joe Biden becomes president, and then we lock down again. And I think that what's going to happen is eventually Americans are going to be very unhappy with what they get. My son has gotten into this grunting phase. He spends all his time going.
Uzi Knesset says he's using a victory rhetorical strategy. This doesn't work for us. Hasn't for a decade. It needs to be victim. Victimhood is status.
I don't think that everybody's like that, though. And the thing is that it's the older voters that care the most. Did you catch that? The older voters don't seem to be aware of any of this other stuff at all. Okay, so they're coming back to the...
Uzi Knesset says you can thank your precious social media for turning victimhood and mental illness into social currency.
Maybe. It is true that you get more attention on social media if you, at least initially. The issue is that by the time, oh man, so I just had a thought. This is kind of a segue into something else, but I've been making videos on TikTok, and I watched another TikTok that said, the algorithm prioritizes interaction. So I made a video that was just really stupid. It was just, okay, we opened up, and I showed the people the DOM, and I showed the action, and I was like, where do you think we're going to go this week? That was it. And I got twice as many views as normal. That was it. Was like one of my worst produced videos. But something about, and I don't know if the algorithm picks up on that I'm saying that, or if the algorithm, or if it really does just saying that makes people more likely to watch it again. But all of a sudden, I'm getting 300 views. So I made another one. I was like, okay, so here's a skit. So how do I make a skit interactable? So I put a question in the description of it, or the little tagline that you can put in it, just saying, I hope none of you guys got caught short today, was what I put. And again, twice as many views as I normally get. And not only that, but I got like dozens of subscribers on TikTok just from that. So the social media is priming us to kind of put out these clickbaity audience interaction things. Kind of weird. And yeah, I think that in some degree that Facebook kind of conditioned people to be into the victim mentality. Because it was like, if you came, who were the people that were getting the most attention is like if you came out as something, like gender fluid, whatever, then you got a lot of attention, at least initially. But the issue is that now it's kind of not a big thing. And after you've gone through all of that, you're not going to be getting that as much attention from it. Then do people change? Is the question I have. You get more attention on social media if you say that the virus is a danger. I think you do. I think that those posts, when I look at my Facebook, the ones that get the most interaction on my Facebook are from the people that seem really scared. Because the people that don't seem scared, they'll have like 2 or 3 people be like, yeah, and then nobody wants to argue with them. I got to tell you, this thought that we've just had here, Uzi, about that it really just comes down to whether or not you want further lockdowns, and that the American public is going to vote for further lockdowns is like really messing with, like, I really don't like that thought. It's like, I feel like the burden of the truth sort of right now. Well, they never filled me at 08.5, but it would have been a great spot, so. Ooh, what's this? Nope. Spammer, taking care of that. That's kind of weird. Well, we've still got 30 minutes left. We could take another one here. It does seem a little odd. This spot here at 3508 seems to be so important to them. Well, it's just a little bit above the open. Super choppy. And I have to say that move down was really felt really dramatic. And they're coming up short of the seller cost basis, which is unusual. They usually will tag it. So that seems... So let's check how this story is developing. Man, the E-mini just kind of went sideways here now, haven't they?
Rex says what isn't neat?
Oh yeah, what were you talking about? What is the neats? You're talking about the... I don't know what that means. It refers to a person who is unemployed, not receiving an education or in vocational training. Oh, I see. Not in education, employment, or training. Yeah, jeez. Oh, so I'm just thinking about this New York Post thing, and a thought just came across to me, which is that they have a sex tape with it, but they didn't release it. If Hunter comes out and says that it's all fake, will they turn around and say, "Oh, really?" and then release that video? Then that would get attention for sure. Photos of a Delaware federal court subpoena given to the Post show that both the computer and the hard drives were seized by the FBI in December. Whoa, wait. I thought it said September. It was December of last year? After the shop owner says he alerted the feds to their existence, but before turning over the gear, the shop owner says he made a copy of the hard drive and later gave it to former mayor Rudy Giuliani's lawyer, Robert Costello. Steve Bannon, former advisor to President Trump, told the Post about the existence of the hard drive in late September, and Giuliani provided the Post with a copy of it on Sunday. Oh, so Rudy's been holding this whole time as a October surprise. So if they try and dismiss it, I wonder if there's more. If I was a Democrat, I'd be super, super careful about what I say about it. Because it could come back and then they release more information, and then you really look like an idiot. Okay, so that last little bit of movement down is concerning. They are testing ATR and everything else like that. I got stop out zone to 3501. So the big thing that we should be looking for on this story is what Rudy says about it. Okay, I'm spelling it. I'll post that on my Facebook too. Where is the story? Here it is.
Philly Beats You says dropped ya a follow on Twitter, Seth.
Hey, thank you very much. Wait, let me check. I'd like to follow you guys back if I can. I'm gonna post it on Facebook too, because I promised you guys I would post on Facebook more. On the Facebook page.
Philly Beats You says you can see my setup there.
Oh, I can see you. Oh, that's right, because you were a streamer. Ooh, I like it. show you guys this. Look at that. He's got a Go XLR. He's got, now what is this? Is that something you can buy, or did you make that? That's cool, because I've been thinking about building a marquee behind me.
RJ Wheels says back in primary season there was a pic of Biden playing golf with Hunter and Burisma exec.
Oh yeah, I remember
And media
that.
blinked. I doubt this gets much traction.
I vaguely remember that. Final Fantasy.
Philly Beats You says that's Divum Products.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never gotten the this right here. This is all the streamers got the oh gosh, what is it called now? Oh my gosh, I'm all like in a completely different mode, so like I forget the names of everything, and gosh. An Elgato
Philly Beats You says people use it on trading. Stream Deck.
Yeah. Elgato Stream Deck. That's like the one, like I should have one of those. I got all the others. I got a light. I got a ring light. They've made a ring light. I kind of regret getting that ring light, but it was only like $40 or something. And I don't have a Go XLR because I really don't need anything that complicated. I just use a what do we call it? A Focusrite and banana voice meter, which works really, really well actually. And yeah, but that's a really cool setup. And you got the stuff on the wall and everything. But what does it look like? What does it look like behind you though? Wait. Oh, here you have a YouTube. Maybe it'll show me on the YouTube. Oh, look at that. Oh, do you do all of your own thumbnails? Do you do the thumbnails on your own? No one saw this coming. See, you're pretty good at it, dude. See, this is the thing that I'm not willing to do. Not with trading. Like I could come in.
Philly Beats You says yay, I do everything.
I could come in and I could make today's video be like, you wouldn't believe blah blah blah, or we made X $1,000 or whatever it is, or I guess we lost some money today, so I could say minus. Well, actually, how bad was it? I think that we made it all back. I lost $30.
Philly Beats You says I am telling ya. Philly Beats You says $100,000 corn video.
100K.
Sunday Driver says the new iPhone 12 can do 4K at 60, 30, or 24 FPS.
Can do it at 60? That's good. Anyways, what was I doing? I want to see if it shows you. Oh, okay, behind you. Oh, you didn't have anything too special. Well, you have your camera up really high. So I share something with you. I don't really know how true this is, but somebody was telling. Where did I read this? I can't remember where I read this, but I read that where you position the camera in relation to your face kind of controls or influences to a degree how your audience sees you. So if you position the camera so that it is lower than your eyes, then it's like they're looking up to you, and so it's like you're in charge and you know everything. And if you have it high and it's looking down, it's like the audience is looking down at you. So if you're like, oh, your thing is self-deprecating or it's funny, then it's better to have it up high so that the viewers can do like that. I try to have it at eye levels because I don't want it to be like I'm on any different of a level than all of you guys, because you can see sometimes I just do terrible. Today was terrible, man. I put it on serious for a couple of trades there, and that was so bad, especially in the treasuries. That one in the treasuries I shouldn't have taken. I feel dumb.
Philly Beats You says that's the only reason. Philly
My
Beats You
computer is
says
too
my
high.
computer is
Yeah.
too high.
Well, if I didn't have, so the way that I have it is one of my monitors is just lower than the others so that the camera can look over it. Yeah. Right. I'm thinking about moving it so that I put my studio monitors in between the display monitors. So there would be a studio monitor here, and then I'd put the camera on top of that. And then I could have this up there. But then I'd have to turn my head more. So I don't know if that works either. There's really no way, all of the stuff that I want to do, there's really no way to do it right. There really isn't. You can't fit it all in.
Sunday Driver says consider 2 cameras.
Well, there you go. Well, I wouldn't mind having a camera like behind me.
Philly Beats You says I am gonna be adding a big TV to the top.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, that's cool. Dude, I saw this one. You ever watch Harris Heller? He did this thing where it was like he rates your streaming setups. And
Philly Beats You says it's Sunday Driver when I get 100 ticks on S it'll be on second camera.
there was this guy, and he had like 7 monitors. I was like, what the heck? And one of them was those big ones. I'm like, what the heck are you using all that crap for? You don't need all that. You're just playing games. Stop. It was funny. When you got like partnerships and everything, you got to get. But you're a pro. You're a pro gamer, apparently. Although most of these videos are about Nintendo games. What was the game that you were super pro at? Pokemon? See a lot of Pokemon there. I did Pokemon Go. I tell you what, I put a video up about Pokemon
Philly
Go.
Beats You says I am moving slowly from tutorial reaction to gameplay.
Oh, I gotcha. I did Pokemon Go at the very beginning, and holy crap, there's so many people. There was so many people. It's like I posted a crappy video and it got 5,000 views.
Sunday Driver says check out streams that have R&B cameras.
There you
Cool.
go. The thing is when I think about those sorts of things, I'm like, yeah, that's not really going to make a big difference for you guys, though. Like, when I think about now that we've got a nice camera and we've got the good lighting and I've got some colors behind me, maybe I will get some furniture for behind me at some point, but that will kind of be more for us to make the room look nice and not so much for you guys. After that, like I feel like I've done everything on the stream that can really make it better. So if I'm going to invest back into the stream, it has to
Philly
be
Beats You
into.
says unless Seth does a
there you
spin
go.
to a behind camera to talk.
Yeah, if I do that, it's going to be putting
Philly
the
Beats
money
You says
into
after
developing
computer
stuff
camera.
for you, right? After a computer camera. Yeah, I think that one from behind so you could see the screens would be nice. You notice that on all of my YouTube videos, I try and show that monitor setup in there because that's what people identify as day trading. So that's why I do that. But yeah, all of the investment that I'm putting forward into the future is going to be either in one-off videos, because those are the ones that get search results and get hits, or into the development here. So I really wish that I could spend more time working on the indicators and back testing stuff for you guys. And yeah, so that's where we're going. And I kind of want to get. I want to get to the point where we're developed up enough that we can build a platform for you guys. Because I think there's a couple of problems that I have with the platforms. I think that we could incorporate a lot of stuff. We could incorporate some statistics stuff into it, and it'd be cool. It's a cool effect to have cameras switch views periodically. Yeah, it is. It is cool. I admit it's cool. I just don't think that it affects how good your stream is very much. How many people would like to watch it and things like that. Okay, so they talked about coronavirus relief, and it was a productive discussion, according to the reports. Should we try buying that one? Not yet. I'll do it right here. Okay, yeah. Anyways, the other thing I want to get into, though, is I don't know how to do this. So if you know Philly, hit me up on Discord about how to do it. I want to get with hardware guys because I want to do benchmarking with NinjaTrader. Because everybody, we all know you do the benchmarks with the video games. But I think that doing a backtest on NinjaTrader would be a really great use case to show you how, significant having a Threadripper would be for you and things like that. So I've been looking and trying to figure out how to get a hold of them because I'm thinking about upgrading a computer soon, but I can't buy like 12 CPUs, right? I can only buy one. But if I'm able to get a partnership with somebody and they can send me loaner CPUs, and then I could test a bunch of them and show people. But I don't know how to I don't know how to build that relationship. And they're never going to seek me out, right? Because they're not. That's not on their radar. They're thinking gaming and all this other stuff.
Philly Beats You says, oh yay, partnerships, I do those.
Mm-hmm. Well, I see that you had them for, a couple
Philly
of these.
Beats You says, so you would have to put your own deck together.
Your own deck together. Yeah. Anyways, I see that you've got a YouTube and Twitch partner, Steel Series and Elgato and Game Subs and stuff. Oh, Gamer Subs I've seen that one a lot. Steel Series stuff is okay. But I need like AMD. I need a partnership with AMD. So if you're listening, AMD, I got some ideas for you. Might interest you. Okay, that's not supposed to go like that. So this was Pelosi's spokesman that was saying that it was productive discussion.
Winston's mom says, Clip, are you listening, AMD?
All right. Listening, AMD. Let's do some benchmark. Ninja Trader 8 benchmarks. How many more iterations of? So I was doing yesterday. You know what? I need more memory because I went through and I wanted to do 10 generations, a generational algorithm trying to optimize one of my algorithms, and I did like 10 generations, and it like used up all of the RAM that I have on the machine. And then when you're done with it, it doesn't go back down. So I don't know what there's like an issue in Ninja Trader with it, I think. But I'm going to need to increase my RAM, and that might help. But ultimately, I would really like to put this in and say, hey, okay, let's do it with your base, like your new 5000 series, like 5300 or whatever, right? We'll show them that, and then we'll show them the top of the line 5000 series, like the 59, right? And then a Threadripper. And how big of a difference does it actually make? Because if a Threadripper makes a big difference, I think you can make a big case for, hey, if you're day trading and you're doing algorithmic trading, you want a Threadripper. That's the case. Donald Trump says he is seeking emergency approval for the Regeneron drug. That'll push him. Got about 10 minutes, and I gotta get going.
Philly Beats You says, I miss the action on the market. Philly Beats You says, now it's all sideways.
Yeah, I have to say, well, we had a good opening drive and everything, although it's extremely confusing to me. I don't know if there was any real reason why it turned out the way that it did, and it chopped around a lot before it actually did anything, huh?
Philly Beats You says, they def aren't gonna let us hit all-time high that easy.
Yeah, that's true. So there's two things here that I heard over the wire that I thought would move them up, and the market doesn't seem to care at all. So I think that yeah, and see they're struggling there. There's too many longs in this market, apparently.
Sunday Driver says if you're wanting to capitalize on speed, you'd have to have a fast computer across the board. Switching out a component or two won't likely give much of an advantage.
I think that switching out the CPU would make a huge advantage. I mean, of course, your RAM is going to be a huge bottleneck as well, but you should be able to see a difference. Unless it's really the data moving around that's really the problem. And if it does, I mean, that would be another thing that I want to test is that does the RAM make a significant difference on NinjaTrader? The RAM speed. Because you can get some pretty fancy RAM these days. Look at that head fake. And they're going higher. That fell on not a lot of volume and came back up on not a lot of volume. Some market makers messing with us. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Go do it. Go do it and we'll stop the stream. Come on. You need to see the stops. There's definitely a lot of people trying to go long in this market. All right. Well, what can we call today? I don't know what to say about today. I feel really down about it. I feel like today was kind of lame. Let's see here.
Philly Beats You says,
Still
if
care
you
what
ain't
it's
long.
doing. If you ain't long. That's funny. Oh, man. Well, where's what? What?
Philly Beats You says Philly Beats You says I can't believe I didn't go long.
I should do it like that. This is where it's like, I'm okay with being a little clickbaity. The thing that I hate is the guys that they're trying to clickbait with how much money they supposedly made. So I feel it's dishonest. I'll often go in and watch them and find out that they're like down big. and then they never show that in the video, where they somehow double up the other way and get out of it. But I also don't think that this is a video that I really want to push. So when I got a good video, when I did well, then it's like, yeah. You need computer background
Philly
pic with
Beats You
different
says,
face
Seth, you
pictures?
need computer
You
pic
know what?
background with diff face pics.
I mean, I have all those different pictures that I took. I need to do another photo shoot. So I need more shocked and confused reactions. Right here. There's so many things. I should spend more time on
Philly Beats You says, or keep
thumbnails.
background same.
Thumbnails.
Philly Beats You says, and just to the face with background remover Websty.
See how I got a bunch of them here with me in front of the computer here. They're okay. They've been working. A couple of them were good. Of course, that's not a very useful one. That one's a terrible picture. I guess those are okay. I've never used those ones. There you go. One of these is like similar to what I use. The main one. These ones. That's where I got that one.
Philly Beats You says, lol Bitcoin photo.
Right. But I don't have very many of them that are like, you know, I need more like that. So I need to do it again. They're still going down. I guess they're going to want to go all the way. I don't know. I guess I don't really care because I don't understand what's
says,
going
Arme
on.
in the air catches your attention.
Yeah. That one of my eyes are closed. There you go. I don't think I've ever used that one.
Live Action says, arms.
And I did for like my most recent video. I'll show you. I could probably redo it. I could probably change the title of it. What did I call it exactly? What is the best moving average? Yeah. So this is where I'm like, you know, could be better. Am I getting some from short search? I am. So that's good. And I get them from this. I've gotten them from other people's videos. Though I don't know why those particular videos. Anyways, but could I get a more clickbaity title? Maybe. I would have to, I don't know. Anyways. Fun. I guess, I don't know. Think about it and I'm like, well, it matters, but it does matter. It matters. Anyways. Man, I don't know what the market's doing today. I mean, maybe it's just a consolidation day. I mean, it does look really tight. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I will see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, don't do what I did. Stay profitable.